today's video is actually a little different. We are going to be looking at the Red Book and the Numismatic Guidebook to try and grade some of these coins for one of my friends. So I was given a huge bag of all sorts of older coins. We've got wheat pennies, nickels, buffaloes, silver, everything in here. And I've already gone through a lot of the buffaloes, but I was like, you know what? Why not make a video where I show you guys my process of how to look at these coins, determine what grade they are, and find their value. So let's get right into it. Right here, we have Indian head cents. We have a 1907 and a 1901. So I also have my microscope set up, so if we need to see small details, we can. These look to be about the same grade. I don't see any Liberty in the headbands at all. Here, let's just set it under the scope so you can see. So in the headband, there is no Liberty in the 1907 or the 1901. There's absolutely no Liberty in it at all. So this is going to narrow it down some. So for G4, obverse entire design is well worn with very little detail remaining. Legend and date are weak but visible. So that's a possibility. Now let's go up. Outline of feathers show, but some are smooth. So outline of feathers, we do have some feather markings and some are smooth. So this one looks like a more fitting one. Legend and date are visible. Some letters in Liberty show. Any combination of two full letters and parts of others is sufficient. So that means we have to have any letters of Liberty, which we don't have. So we're going to have to downgrade it to a G4. So for the 1901, you want to look right here for the G4, and that's a 250. And the 1907 and G4 is also 250. So these coins are worth about 250 each. I'm going to flip over to the Buffalo nickels and I'll be right back with you. So I have 3 Buffalo nickels here to do with you. I can see this one well with my eye, but I'm not sure for you. But this is a 1919 Philadelphia. So let's grade that one really quick. You want to look at it. The date is visible, but not completely. So let's go over to a G4. Entire design is well worn with very little detail remaining. Liberty is weak and merged with rim. Date is partially visible. Possibility. Now let's go up to this one. Outline of hair is visible at temple and near cheekbone. Liberty merges with rim. Date is clear. So we know we don't have this, and we might have this. And let's look at AG. Design is outlined with nearly all details worn away. Date and motto are partially readable, but very weak and merging into rim. So let's look at the Buffalo side instead. Entire design is partially worn away. Rim is merged with letters. I wouldn't say the entire design is worn away. There are some nice plots. Bison is nearly flat, but is well outlined. Horn does not show. Legend is weak, but readable. Rim is worn to tops of letters. And I'd put it in that G4 range for the 1919 Philly. So let's find 1919 Philadelphia G4. That's a $3 coin. So we'll put that up. Next, we have a 1927 Philadelphia. And this, I believe, is better than the other one, but we're probably going to have to be in a G4 because that 19 is not clear. So we can be safe to say automatically that this is a G4 27 Philly. We can look up here for a G4 27 Philly. That is $1.25 roughly. Over here we have a 1936 clear date Buffalo Philadelphia nickel. So let's go back over here to the details about the clear date. So date is clear. Liberty merges with rim. Does it? Very slightly. Outline of hair is visible at temple and near cheekbone. That is correct. And some detail shows in head. Lettering is all clear for the reverse. Horn is worn nearly flat. And rim is flat. Maybe. Let's see if we can upgrade it past a VG 8 right there. So, obverse, 3/4 of details show in hair and braid. Liberty is plain. So what they mean by liberty is plain, it should look like that. And major details are visible along the back. Horn and tail are smooth, but partially visible. Rim is complete, but flat in spots. So we want to look for the horn, the hump details, and the liberty on the front. So liberty on the front, it looks basically the same, but that horn and hump details are not there. So this is going to be a VG8 1936 Philly. So we find the 1936 Philly in VG8, and this is a $1.50 coin. I will get back to you with Jefferson nickels in a second, and we will be grading some of those. I'm not going to show you all the nickels at once because I have some little surprises in some of these nickels for my friend's collection. But first, we have a 1950, and it is a Philadelphia. So it is not the key date Denver, but it is a 50 Philadelphia. So we're going to look over here to see what grade it could be in. So let's start by reading VF30. Hair is worn but shows nearly full details. Cheekbone and bottom of bust are worn but sharp. Maybe. So let's flip it over to the Monticello. Triangular roof and beam are worn nearly flat. Most of the pillar lines show plainly. Maybe. Let's see if we can upgrade it from a very fine 30 up to an EF though. So instead of moving them back, I should just put it here. Obverse slight wear shows on cheekbone and central portion of hair, which that's reasonable. There's a trace of wear at the bottom of the bust. That seems closer, but we'll have to see. Reverse high points of the triangular beam are, what they say, lightly worn. And I'd say no. So we're going to have to downgrade here to an EF40. Triangular roof and beam are worn, but all details are visible. Hair is lightly worn, but well-defined. So triangular roof and beam are worn, but all details visible. I would say so, because here, we'll look at this under the microscope so I can point better. So you have the roof line. Here, let me see if I can focus this a little better. Okay. So we can see the roof lip. We can see that. We can see the outline to the semicircle. So I'd say that this would be an EF40, honestly. And for a 50 Philadelphia in mint state grade, it's only $2. So a 50 Philly is probably only about a $1 coin. So we'll go to the next one. And we have a 1940 San Francisco. And I'll put that under there so you can see it. There we go, our 1940 San Francisco. Let's bring this over here to see if we can justify that. Let's look at the beam on the back. And that is very much worn worse than the last coin. So we're going to take it and compare it up here. Triangular roof and beam are worn nearly flat. Most of the pillar lines show plainly. Hair is worn but shows nearly full details. Cheekbone and bottom of bust are worn but sharp. That sounds right. I think this is a VF30 1940 San Francisco, so we have to turn the page back. We find 1940 San Francisco there, and a VF30 is probably about 50 cents. So this is not a super good coin. Right here, we have a surprise for you. This is a 1938, but it's a key date 38 Denver. There are only 7 million of those minted. And is this the D over S possibly? I didn't check for that. No, but it is the Denver. And let's see here. The details are about the same as the last one for that. And let's flip it over, see that. I'd say that it is about the same as that one. So I'd put this 38 Denver at being, sorry, I put the wrong one back. This 38 Denver, I would put at the VF 30, and that would be about $5 for this coin. So that's a good one. Right here, we have a 1942, and I'm sure you can tell what it is by the look. It is a Philadelphia silver war nickel. So it's a 1942 silver war nickel. And we're not even going to make VF, so we're going to start with F12. Some details show in hair around face. There's some. Cheek line and collar are plain but very weak. I don't even see a collar line, honestly, so we're probably going to have to go down here. Cheek line is visible, but parts are worn smooth. Collar is weak, but visible. Only a few hairlines show separations. Reverse, slight detail shows throughout the building. The arch is worn away. Pillars are weak, but visible. There are no pillars on this, so we are going to have to put it in a G4. Building is nearly flat, but is well outlined. Pillars are worn flat. Rim is worn to top of letters. And that is the complete truth. So we have a G4, 42 Philadelphia war nickel. If you have a 42 Philadelphia and G4, it's probably only about $1, but in silver content, it's worth a little more than $1, not much more than $1. Now, our last good one for the nickels, it is our last one, is the Liberty 1942 Denver. So, the 1942 Denver, we want to look for a D over horizontal D, which I do not see. But also know that the 42 Denver is a little lower mintage with only about 14 million minted. So in VF20, this is a $4 coin. And what really caught my attention is how nice this coin is. So the best coin we've had so far got VF30, and this looks way better than a VF30. So we're going to actually flip the page and start comparing it to an EF. So slight wear shows on cheekbone and central portion of hair. Does it? I don't think it does. So we're actually going to move it up to the AU. So we'll start with AU50. Traces of wear show on cheekbone and high points. I don't see hardly any wear on the high points. So let's move up to a 55. Only a trace of wear shows on cheekbone. Maybe. Trace of wear shows on beam above pillars. Let's look for that. Yeah, maybe. There's maybe a little bit of wear. Most of the mint luster is still present. That is so true. So let's look at the 58. Has some signs of abrasion, cheekbone and high points of hair color, triangular roof above pillars. Shallow or weak spots in the relief, particularly in the steps below the pillars, are usually caused by improper striking and not wear. So let's actually look at those steps. Definitely not full steps, but nice steps. And I'm willing to put this in an AU55, honestly, for a 42 Denver. AU55. It's probably, I'm going to put it at a $12, no, $10 coin. But still, that is absolutely amazing. And I'll be back with our last section, the silver dimes. We have a 48 Philadelphia and a 63 Denver here, and I'm just going to grab the 63 Denver because it looks like the better of the two, even though it has some grossness. And if you see the hair detail on both of these, we are actually not even going to be on this page because the extra fines have no hair detail like that. So maybe we can grade both of these at the same time, actually. So, slight wear shows on high points of hair above the ear. On that one, yes. I don't really see it on that one. High point of flame are lightly worn, yes. Torch lines are clearly defined and separated, yes. Surface part of the mint luster is still present. That is true. So this 48 Philly is an EF 45. So 48 Philly EF 45. It's probably a $3.50 coin. And I'm not 100% sure if the silver price is more than that, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. But this 63 Denver, let's move it up because I believe it's better than that. Traces of wear show in hair above the ear. Like I said, I don't see any, hardly. Traces of wear show on the flame, but details are sharply defined. Maybe? I don't even think so, honestly. Half of the mint luster is still present. I'd say it has more than half. So, right there, we have only a trace of wear shows on the highest points of hair above the ear. Yeah, I'd say. And a trace of wear shows on the highest spots of the flame. 3/4 of the mint luster is present. I'd give this an AU 55 for the 63 Denver. So this is the 63 Denver. And an AU 55, it is probably about a $3.50 coin as well. So that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you really enjoyed it and learned how to use the numismatic book to look at your coins, to be able to grade them, to compare them to your red book for pricing.